And holiday shopping is in full swing. A group of major retailers are responding to pressure from African-American activists and customers who complain about being profiled while shopping. The stores have created a customer bill of rights that explicitly prohibits racial profiling and unreasonable searches. Kirsten John Foy is president of the Brooklyn chapter of the National Action Network, which helped push for the Bill of Rights, and he joins us here in our New York studios. Kirsten, thank you so much for being here with us. And congratulations on this process. This really is a big deal. I want to walk back, and I want you to take us through this process. We remember when this hit the news earlier this fall, after the two cases that we became aware of with Macy's and Barney's, you had meetings. What happened at those meetings?
We had some very frank discussions with the executives of both Barney's and Macy's about the highly publicized incidences of racial profiling. We had some hard conversations about their past behavior and activities towards African American and other customers of color. And they had some very, unsatisfactory answers. And so we knew that we could not stop with just Barney's and just Macy's. So we asked them to convene the rest of the retail industry so that we could deal with this wholesale, if you will, and not piecemeal. We needed to apply regular constitutional standards to the behavior that loss prevention and security personnel in these retailers exhibited towards their customers. And so we got them to agree, not a very easy task, to adopt a customer's bill of rights, which will establish a baseline standard for how each of these stores are going to treat their customers, the assurances and guarantees that they are giving their customers that racial profiling once and for all will be eliminated from their loss prevention policies and practices. And so it was a quantum leap forward, yet there still remains a lot of work to be done.
So give me some examples of what's included in this customer's bill of rights.
So there are guidelines for how security and loss prevention personnel are to engage customers, the information that they are required to disclose to the customers, who they are, why they're being stopped, what the customers are entitled to in terms of treatment and behavior by the retailers, by their security personnel, their loss prevention personnel. It establishes a security blanket, if you will, and assurances to customers that if you come into a retail store that's adopted the customer bill of rights, you are guaranteed that you will have a profiling-free experience, that you will have the utmost in service and the utmost in respect, and that you will not be targeted by any protected class, whether it be race, creed, sexual orientation, gender, any other kind of classification there is. And so we've gotten the retailers not only to adopt this in New York, but to agree that this should be a national standard, an industry-wide standard. And so we're going to see all of the major retailers across the country adopt a customer bill of rights and guarantee and assure their customers that racial profiling will no longer be tolerated in their stores.
And that is absolutely fantastic progress, and I hate to be Debbie Downer. However, how will you enforce this? This is not a law. As you said, it's guidelines. So who's watching the fox near the hen house?
We are. We're continuing to monitor this. Part of this process, at the beginning of this process, we established some guidelines. One, there were some immediate issues and concerns that we had to resolve: the racial profiling, the victimization of these individuals.
And by the way, can I jump in and just ask you, how common did you find out through this process that racial profiling was going on?
Oh, well, we all know it.
We knew it was happening, but how prevalent was it really?
It's extremely prevalent. And as a matter of fact, one of the major retailers in 2005 settled a class action lawsuit where many people came forward and said they had this experience. The President of the United States acknowledged that he was racially profiled while shopping in a department store. I don't know anyone of color, unfortunately, that has not had this similar experience. And so it is extremely pervasive. And so we had to deal with it extremely aggressively and with some very hard and fast deadlines and demands that the retailers had to meet.
A couple things I want to get to before I have to let you go. First of all, did this process include the New York City Police Department? Because they were a part of these original stories.
Right. To date, it has not included them. We needed to establish with the retailers what their policies are and what they should be. And now we are going to engage NYPD and we're going to, and other law enforcement agencies, and bring them into the fold. Say, here are the standards that the retailers have adopted. They are going to also be adopting new protocols for engagement in law enforcement, new detention protocols, and so we're going to have an expanded dialogue now.
And that's the next step.
Yes.
All right, Kirsten John Foy, thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
That's incredible.